everyone, my name is Jandy the Artsy-Rose, and welcome back to Philip's main story. I haven't recorded sooner lately because one, I've been waiting for the ticket stock to refill up, and second, I've been watching Fruit Baskets. Fruits Basket. I had just finished up the anime. Just to let you know, my favorite character is Taru. The last finale was awesome. I don't know what to watch next. Anyway, let's continue where we left off with good old Philip here, shall we? Philip's main story, Chapter 4. You want to see Philip? It was Victor! In a novel, I was talking about one of Philip's novels. I won't tell a soul, not one, but I'm impressed that the princess would want to see such a thing. How daring. This is the worst! I never wanted anyone to hear me say something like that. Feeling ashamed, I cast my hand down in silence. Since you are supposed to marry the king, I suggest you be more careful with your words in future. And with that, Victor went into the library to find a book. I picked myself up and went inside the library. Philip must have gone out because he wasn't around anywhere. I decided to explore the library while waiting for Philip and started to wander around. There really are a lot of books here. I haven't managed to look around last time I was here because it was closing time. I wonder how many books there are. I felt like skipping around. I felt like skipping about, but I was in a library after all. I behaved as quiet and ladylike as I possibly could while browsing the shelves. What do we have here? To rot or not to rot? That is the question. Oh. Skeleton would probably say that the only correct answer is to become a skeleton. I chuckled to myself and replaced the book. Oh, the Rain Princess. The witch is a werewolf. Wow! This one is about an skeleton sent from the moon. That sounds interesting too. I found book after book until my arms were laden with them. They were so heavy that I put them down on a table so I could go and look around for some more. Feeling a sense of excitement, I resumed meandering through the bookshelf. I came across the spot where the stacks of books had collapsed last time. Are you alright, princess? I was remembering the time Philip had rescued me. My face was going red just thinking about it. I let out a deep breath, trying to calm myself. Oh. My fingers paused at a certain book. Is this the Register of the Dead Philip mentioned? It was a register where the names of the deceased are recorded. I tried removing it from the shelf. Whoa, it's so fat. I touched the cover with my fingers, and it lifted up on its own, opening to a certain page. The pages were filled with unfamiliar names. There were some that had been freshly written. Does this show when someone new has come to Niflheim? My main reason for looking in the Register of the Dead was to find my own name. Jandy. There! I touched my name, it glowed, and the reason for death floated up to say terminal illness. So that was how I died. I felt annoyed at myself for not being able to remember anything, and I flickered through the pages once more. Orlando, Victor, they're all here. After finding some names I recognized, I grew curious as to know how Philip had ended up here. Philip? Huh? I looked through all the names that started with a P, but Philip's wasn't there. But why? Why isn't Philip's name there? But no matter how many times I read through the list that started with Pan and ended with Powell, I could not find the name Philip. What does that mean? The silence in the library was disturbed by the sound of footsteps. The princess? Why is she here? Philip drew closer, a curious look on his face. What should I do? I don't want to be caught. I thought immediately, moved into the shadows of the bookcase, still clutching the register into my chest. I dared not breathe. I stood frozen as the footsteps came close. I was so anxious that it felt like my heart might jump back to life. Hey, Philip. Victor, what are you doing here? What are you here? I had some things I needed to check at the library. Oh, there was someone asking for you over there, by the way. Philip returned to the place Victor had pointed to. I let out a sigh of relief. I could hear Victor laughing. I take it you haven't made your earlier confession to him yet, then? My head snapped up at the sound of his voice, and I kept looking back at me through the gaps of the bookshelf. If you wish to cool your head, I suggest you take the time now to do so, before the demons gobble you up. Now Victor had gestured with his head to the emergency exit. I ran straight outside, still carrying the register, and ran single-mindedly back to the castle. What do I do now? I brought it home with me. Without permission? I looked down at the register of the dead in my hands inside. Just then, someone came knocking at the door. Miss Glaze, you have a visitor. May I let them in? I quickly hid the register under the bed and made sure it could not be seen before answering. Yes, it's fine. Please come in. I almost sounded like Stunna as I hurried to respond. The door opened. Hello, Princess. I'm sorry to have called on you so suddenly. Well, hello. Well, even if one wanted to keep everything for themselves, the only ones who could do anything they like with someone else's stuff are demons. If you wish to cool your head, I suggest you take the time now to do so before the demons gobble you up. A name that is not listed on the register of the dead. Talk of demons who steal memories. And also, the King and Victor's words played in my head, and at some point, I started to gulp. I have no memory of my previous life, and Philip's name isn't in the register of the dead. Is that just a coincidence? Sunny left the room, leaving me alone with Philip. I was terribly nervous. I usually have plenty to say. Why can't I think of anything now of all times? Princess, excuse me. I was freaking out when he spoke to me in a calm voice and reached out towards me. His voice was here, and he stroked my hair softly. Your hair's made of a mess. Did something happen? My hand as he spoke. He was so refined in his actions that I felt a faint stirring, but I don't want to be too. I need to check somehow. Cautiously, I opened my mouth to speak. Philip, about my past memories. Do you know something? His hand on mine tightened slightly, as if from nerves. Philip looked surprised for a moment, and then looked terribly sad. Huh? I'm not sure if it will be a good thing for you to regain your memories or not. Right back.
And I am back. Be subtle. I need to find out. I felt a sense of responsibility, but I didn't know how to proceed. But even if I ask him straight out, there is no guarantee that he would give me an honest answer. Princess. You know, I have no memories of my life before this. I wonder why. I was still feeling hesitant as I spoke. Philip looked surprised for a moment, and then looked terribly sad. Huh? I'm not sure if it would be a good thing to regain your memories or not. Shall we proceed? And what might this be? Huh? That's what it is? Yee! Let's get on with the story. He had whispered so quietly that I couldn't catch all of his words. I did know something. I want to know. I must know, too. I must know. But despite that thought, seeing the sorrowful look on his face made my chest tighten, and I didn't know what to say. That reminds me, Skeleton had said that you had been looking for me. Philip changed the mood in the room with this new topic, which meant a new set of problems for me. I met his eyes and saw that he was his usual calm self once more. That's right. I need to speak to you. I still felt a slight niggle in the depths of my heart, but I spoke in spite of it. Are you really all right? He gave me a worried look, and I remembered the thing I had to do. About that book you agreed to write. I had no idea that it was supposed to be about His Majesty and I. Huh? I thought it would be a continuation of the last book, including the more adult senses. I spoke earnestly, with some embarrassment. I just couldn't tell Philip that I had envisioned kissing himself. I felt both responsible and full of regret while apologizing. So, I'm sorry. I asked something you didn't want to purely because of my own wishfulness. James. When he repeated my words, my hands started to sweat, and I cast my face downwards. I know, that wasn't very ladylike of me. The prince in your story really was amazing, I muttered, when Philip laughed out loud. You just for my book, but I am very glad to have made you fall in love. Love? Say, do you think real love feels the same? I asked him, and let's see. For example, he moved even closer to me, right up to meet mine. Something like this. Oh, and I was afraid it was gonna be a little longer than that, because we're almost at 15 minutes. Well, I know the next half of the chapter is gonna